Hey, welcome back to the table. We're going to start 1912. So one of the first things, what is going on with my camera? There we go. All right. Sorry about that. One of the first things we got to do is we have to shuffle these cards. So it's just the order that you face the different teams. It's not going to change, obviously. We're going to play each team once. The other thing, like I was saying at the end of the last video, is we replaced so those tokens over there were the starter tokens. So they go away, and they say the word starter on them. They're pretty easy to spot. They go away, and then we start with these ones. And I'm going to the thing is we got to do the teams, right? So Chicago, and this is a little bit painful. So we have to look at the TQ number and sort them, which, like I said, a little painful to have to do, but I understand why they're having us do it. Let's see, 5, there's a 15 in here, a 10, a 16, a 9, 8, 14, and a 20. Okay, so Chicago is going to have one of the top 4, right? And then, is it Brooklyn? One of them is going to have the worst 4. Chicago's going to have the best 4. Cincinnati is going to have the worst. And then the middle is going to belong to Brooklyn. So if we take the worst ones, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then those, and then we just take the middle 4. So if we have 16 and 15, this is 9 and 10, and then 11, 12, 13, 14. Those are the middle ones. These ones go in the bag. And I do have one more bag, thanks to Chip Theory. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle them a little bit, and then shuffle these ones a little bit. All right, so for this one, 1, 2, 3. This one is the lowest, so this should be Cincinnati. So if I come over here to Cincinnati, I'm going to get a TQ6, and they're going to have 81 wins. So I'm going to move this to 81. So even at the worst, they're going to be at 81. And we go back to 0. We're not going to win this season, that's for sure. All right, and then the remaining 3 go in the bag. Then for the best 4 here, I rolled a 2, so Chicago is going to get TQ17 with 97 wins. And so we're going to take their token here, and it's going to go on 97. And then these go in the bag. And then for these last 4, I rolled a 1, so this one is Brooklyn TQ13 with 93 wins. So we take this and it goes on to 93. All right, so obviously the season's a little tougher because we don't have the starter anymore. Now we gotta I'm just shuffling and we're gonna draw the remainder. And I don't want to bump my stuff too much, so let me make sure the camera sits somewhere where it's not harming things. So we're going to start with St. Louis. And the first one is TQ8. Then we're going to Philadelphia, TQ15. And then we're going to do New York with TQ12. And then Boston with TQ19. All right, so Cincinnati had TQ6. Now, at the end of the season, if the worst one was, if there was one that was worse than all the other teams, it gets eliminated from the pool. So in this case, Cincinnati is one of the player teams, if you will. So I think from my understanding of the rules is we wouldn't eliminate that one because Cincinnati literally has the worst team quality on the list. In fact, some of these have really high team qualities. It's going to be quite a challenge to beat them. So, okay, we got our dice set up and we're ready to continue our journey. So I'm going to look back at the player aid here. And it just says, draw your rival's TQ from the range. And nothing else for that. By the way, I watched a video from the designer because I was trying to catch him. What did he do when he adjusted fans? Because he actually went to the championship in his game. Because as you'll notice, there's no championship adjustment for fans. And he completely skipped that section because he was playing solo. And at the time, the solo rules didn't exist. So it's actually really difficult to write with a pen because it's laminated. But basically, if there is a championship, they get a +1 to their fans. And he was also mentioning that the victory point leader doesn't move up or down because you're playing solo. But it's really hard to take anything he says for face value because now that I have other players that are scoring victory points, you can apply that. Sorry, getting some caffeine there. Okay, so we go to training camp. Another thing that I thought was interesting. The designer, his board, had the team manager at the bottom. And if you remember, I was complaining because my board doesn't match this. See, the manager's at the bottom and then farm system and front office. He had the manager at the bottom and then farm system and front office. So his player board actually matched the cards. And mine does not. I don't understand it. This is worse. But anyways. So we're going to do the spring training. We draw 3 cards. I can spend a media thing to do another card. I would have to decide before I look at my cards. And look at how much they're warping. This is really bad. That part I'm not a fan of, but anyways. Okay, so getting back to this. Yeah, I'm going to just use these 3 cards. I'm not going to spend the media thing. And so, again, from an upgrade perspective, nothing. Prospect can turn into a regular. Nothing. Prospect to regular. I can do a star into a prospect as a trade. A star into a regular and 2 prospects. Or a star into a regular prospect and $1. Okay, and then this one, pay $4 to get 4 prospects. Pay $1 for 1 prospect. $4 for 4 prospects. And then add a fan across the bottom. So I think what I want to do for sure is this one, I'm going to do the trade. I'm going to trade a prospect for a star. Okay, so then this is going to be discarded here. And so the way you do that is you just come over here, go down 1 prospect, and then go over here and draw a star. So now we have 2 stars, and that does increase our team quality up by 1. Okay, so then as we continue, I think I wanted to do, now this is interesting, $1 for 1 or $4 for 4, it's the same price either way, it's just how many prospects do you want. If I do buy 4 prospects, I am going to score an extra victory point. And I was contemplating paying $30 to score a victory point. I only have to pay $4 to score a victory point here. So I'm going to for sure pay the $4 to score a victory point. So I'm going to buy 4 prospects for $4. And I'm sitting here on exactly $4. So I am now at absolutely $0. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 prospects. I'm up to 16. And then here I can add a fan. There's not much else I can do. I don't even have the dollar, although I could spend the media points for it. Or I can turn a regular and 2 prospects into a star, which I don't want to do. So I'm just going to add a fan for the last one. And so that'll move us up to 8 on the fan department. And that's it for spring break. So now we go to regular season. We're going to draw 7 cards. I can spend the media to draw more. All right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm just looking at the player aid here. We marked their wins on the board. We did that. We're going to use the IDs for our cards that we spend. They get 1 victory point if they have more season wins than we do, and 1 if they win the series. So that's all. I'm just refreshing my memory here. All right, so let's take a quick look at what we got. Both you and your series opponent may immediately take a stadium action. Upgrade or innovate your bleachers. Okay, I like that one. It's going to cost some money, but I like it. Add the following 2Q for this series only. So I have 7 or more regulars, so I'd get to add 2 TQ and an extra resolution die, or I could just gain a regular. Both of those are good. I'm going to set that off to the side because this is going to help me in the battles. This is more of a money management one. 2 regulars for 3 prospects and $5, or draw a spring training card and execute the trade. Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know if I like either one, because right now the prospects are at a position where I'm going to score 3 points. And then the regular is at a position where I have an extra team quality. And if I lose either, like if I go this way or that way, I'm giving up something. I mean, I'm getting something in return, don't get me wrong. It just... or I'm going to draw the spring training card and execute if desired. So I probably end up doing that. So I'm going to put that over here as like another option. Gain $5 per concession tile in your stadium. So this one is going to get me the money I need to execute that one. So I'm going to put that here. And another one of those weird training ones. We can spend 2 prospects and $4 for a star. Or do the spring training card. So I can spend 2 regulars to get 3 prospects and $5, and then spend 2 of those prospects to get it's interesting. Lose 1 prospect player, roll 2 dice, and add your farm system value. So I could get a regular or a star, or just gain a prospect. I will put that here. Then here's gain some money again. So we basically have 3 piles. This is player relations, money in stadium, and then help me to win the game. So we have like a TQ19 is the worst one. That's Boston. So we might want to use help me win the game. Also, it's been my experience. It's not 100% a rule, but the higher the number, the more victory points they're getting. It's not hard set. So some cases there are exceptions, but anyways, let's draw our card and see what happens. So for the first one here, I'm playing Boston. So we're having our toughest game of the season right now. And I do give up victory points. So if I use this against an opponent, like a rival, and I beat the rival, I prevent him from getting a victory point against me. Sorry about that. I ended up getting a phone call while we're in the middle. So my dilemma is, do I spend this to get to try to beat a TQ19 team when I'm only a TQ10? He's got 9 points on me. I don't even think it's possible to win, but it is. The whole idea is if he's 9 points ahead, I'm only going to get 6 wins out of the series. You see how that's going to, but if I can get, move it up, I'm going to move up my wins at least a little bit. Or I wait until I'm playing against a real opponent and then just worry about it there. So, I think I'm going to do this one and just gain a prospect. So We're just going to go up 1 on the prospect. And then he's 9 points ahead of me. So I'm not winning this. And I only scored 1 and he got 1. So anyways, he's up 9. So that means I only got 6 wins. This is a much worse start than last time. So Boston kicked our butts. Okay, next one. We're playing New York. They have a TQ of 12. That's only 2 better. And I think for New York, I am going to do... Because these trades could cost money, I'm going to do this first. We're going to gain $2 for each level of fan loyalty. And I'm at level 8. So that means I get $16. So I'm going to take 10, 6. And then, like I said, New York is at a 12, so they're 2 ahead of me. And now they're 3 ahead of me. So I'm not doing nearly as well this season. So here I got 9 wins. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 more. The next one, we're playing Philadelphia. They have a TQ of 15. So another really good team in the league. That's 5 better than me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the bottom part. I'm going to draw a spring training card. So here's the top card. The trade for this is I can trade 3 prospects and $2 for a star. Okay, so if I do that, I go up 1 team quality to 11. But my prospects is going to drop enough that I'm going to be below. I'm not going to get 3 victory points anymore. I'm only going to get, 2. Is it worth it to do that? I don't know. Or do I lose one of my stars because having that 1 extra quality in my star gives me 3 prospects, which would get me 4 victory points. And then I gain $2 more. The thing is I'm going to be so stingy. If I have enough prospects to get 4 victory points, I'm never going to give up a prospect for anything. It is an idea, though. I was trying to build up my stars, but if I get rid of a star, here's my issue. When do these ever replenish? There are a few more stars in here, I guess. Seems like the stars are hard to get. You don't want to be giving them up that easy. So I'm going to choose not to do it. We're just going to do nothing there. And we got to resolve this. So we're up against Philadelphia, who has a TQ of 15. So he's got 5 on me. And he still has 5. So at 5 on me, I get 8 wins. 5, 6, 7, 8. I am doing horrible this season. And then here we go. Pittsburgh against Chicago. This is our first matchup against another rival. So just to show you, Brooklyn is at 13. Chicago is at 17. And Cincinnati is at 6. So let's assume I can beat Cincinnati. Do I use my card to give me an edge against Chicago or Brooklyn? And I guess my thoughts are Chicago might be a little bit too hard. Like, it's going to be a guaranteed loss. Because they're at 17. At least Brooklyn with 13, that's only 3 ahead of me. And this could give me a 1 or a 2 point bump, which gives me a chance to at least beat Brooklyn. I mean, if I want to beat Chicago, I have to use this. Because that's that's only going to give me a chance to beat Chicago. So I think my final determination is I'm going to look at the player card and see how many victory points I'm giving up. So if I played card 20 against Chicago, card 20 is 0 points for them. Whereas 50 or 79, let's see, 50 would be 0, 79 is also 0, And then 59 is +1. So this gives them a point. These two are 0 and that one's 0. So I'm safe no matter which one I play. I'm going to go ahead and do this one then. We're going to gain $5 per concession tile in my stadium. And just a reminder, I have 1, 2, 3 of them here. So that's $15. So there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're at 31. Making $31 while the regular season's going on is pretty good. Okay, so now we got to deal with our loss here at TQ17. Ooh, that becomes 18, and my 10 becomes 16. We still lost. So he gets a victory point for winning the series, and but he only wins it by 2, so we do get 10 wins. So I'm 2 below 25, 2 below 35. Next one, Pittsburgh and Brooklyn. So this is the one I think I can win. So I'm going to go ahead and do card number 20. And we do have to check their card because they're not all the same. So just because Chicago had 0 points with that one doesn't mean Brooklyn does. Card 20 against Brooklyn is also a 0, so we're good there. And gaining a regular may not be bad, but I'm going to add the TQ for the season. And so I have 7 or more regulars, and I get to roll an extra resolution die. So there's a 1, and that 3 is a lot better than a 1, but he gets a 4. So this is probably going to be a loss here. So 13 plus 4 is 17 for him. I have 10, 13, 14, 15. I lose. So victory point for him. I lose by 2, so I get 10 more wins. Next up, Pittsburgh plays St. Louis. So from this perspective, whichever card I play, I just want to make sure it's not the one that gives him victory points. So I'm going to look at Cincinnati at 59. This gives Cincinnati +2 points. And then at 79, that also gives Cincinnati +2 points. Ooh, we picked the wrong cards to keep behind. So this one will let me take a stadium action to upgrade or innovate my bleachers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that against St. Louis here. And so here's our situation. We have 4 bleachers out there, and whatever I do now, I'm replacing. So I could just take this and innovate and flip it over. So this is going to give me $10 in income. I could flip it over, which then lets me get a next better one. That's $10 in income, plus I get a fan every spring break. But I do think the $10 in income, it just takes 2 years to break even. That's an interesting idea, though, because it does take 2 years to break even, and we're only playing 7 years. I got to be careful with how much I'm overwriting things. But I'm contemplating, since I have 4 of them out here, I can replace all 4 of them, like so. So I'm contemplating just doing exactly this and just replacing it like that. And in fact, that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to spend $20 to do that. I earned it. So now we're at $11. And then let's resolve our season here. So St. Louis has a TQ of 8. And I blew it out of the water, which is interesting. So he's up to 9, and I'm at 16. So 16, 9, and 7. I have a 7 differential, so I get 15 wins for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 10, and then 15. It's not enough to catch these guys, but that it was at least a nice jump. And then last but not least, it's going to be Cincinnati. So I'm going to give Cincinnati their 2 victory points. We are going to play this card, and I'm going to do it for the whatever's on the spring break card. And we have a prospect and $2 for a star. I can afford to get rid of a prospect, so I'm going to do that. A prospect and $2 for a star. So that doesn't hurt me at all because I gained a prospect earlier. So I'm going to lose a prospect and $2. So 1, 2 puts me down to $9. And then we're going to grab another star. So now I have 3 stars, which gives me a TQ of 11. Probably should have done that a little earlier, but that's okay. And I'm going to roll. And he's got a 4. So Cincinnati has a TQ of 6 and 4 is 10. And I'm now at 11 plus 3 is 14. So I have an advantage of 4 and I get 13 wins. So 1, 2, 3, 13. I am way short of those guys. So all 3 of them beat me for the season. So 1, 2, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. They all get a victory point. And I know they get those later, but I'm just assigning them now while the thought's on my mind. And that's the season. There's definitely no championship for us this time around. What a tough season this was. That amped up big time. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the next. So we are going to skip the postseason. Nothing happens, and then we go to finances. So for finances, it has everything here. So we're going to go ahead and go in the back. So, excuse me. We get $80 base income. So $80. $3 for every fan. So we have 8 fans, so that's 24. So 10, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're at 113. Then $5 for media spent. We didn't do that. $7. I'm sorry, and then the stadium rewards. That's this over here. So this is $3 per bleacher. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bleachers. That's $12. And then this is 5, 10, 15. So that's 27. 10, 20. And then 7 brings us up to 40. And then the bleachers themselves, I get, oh, look at this right here. Spring training, 1 fan. So that should have gone up. And I should get $2 from that 1 card and then $3 from my income. So that's $5 more. There was a card here that gave me money for fans, $2, and then for the finance I get 3. Coming back to this, 10, 25 dollars. So $25, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm at $170. It looks like a lot of money, but I'm going to be spending money too. All right, so that's the income. Then we're going to do expenses. So the star players, I have 3 of them. So at 3 of them, I'm going to spend $35. 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $2 for every regular. I'm at 9. So that's 18. So there's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then $1 for every prospect. I'm at 16, so 10, and then 6. So that leaves me at $101. And then the front office stuff. So this is 13, 20, $30. So 10, 20, 30. And then I have $70 left over, which last time we were at, I want to say we were around the same. And we spent a lot of money upgrading our stadium. And it's funny because the 1 victory point really does matter. But I would have to spend 30. Well, we're not there yet. So, but that's right here under the investment costs. So we do you can see we paid our expenses. We're going to score our victory points, and we're going to adjust our fans. And then we'll do the retirement stuff, and then and that's something that is a little scary, actually. Okay, so the number of wins we see below. I am at 71 wins, which is pathetic. So I score 3 points. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. This snakes. I got to be careful. And then, but red has 81 victories, so he gets 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then green has 93. So he gets 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then black has 97. And he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is that's called a butt kicking. All right, we did not win a championship. We can choose to invest for $30 to get 1 victory point. I'm going to say no. And then this is where I do gain some ground. I get 1 for every 5 prospects. So I get 3 victory points from prospects. 1, 2, 3. That puts me right back in the thick of it. And if I pay the $30, I'm actually in the top. So now I do the fan portion, which I come up to here. And you can see here, I'm still in the neutral zone, so there's no move. I am not the victory leader, and I'm also not last. So neither of these happen to me. I'm right in the middle, actually. So no change there for the fans. I'm going to choose no to the investment costs, even though I know I'm making more money. I want to get this engine going a little bit more. $30 still seems a little stiff to me. So we're going to choose no to that. And then we do the retirement. And this part has me worried because I have no control over this anymore. Last time we got to ignore what we drew. So, I'm drawing from the wrong chip theory bag. Where did the bag go? Oh, here we go. We got to do this one. I knew the components felt like they were way too high quality. Here we go. Here's 1, and here's 2. So the good news is I get to pick which one I want to do. So I can lose a star, or I can do front office -1 level. Okay, that hurts. Because the front office -1 level impacts my ability to draw hot stove cards. Although it's a minimum of 3, I believe. I don't know which is easier to replace. Because I don't know if those cards ever get replenished. The star cards. I'm going to do front office -1 level. I'm not a big fan of this. So we drop to a 2. All right, so that had to happen. And then we're going to take these cards. We're going to draw 2. And we get to pick an event. All front offices that are level 1 or 2 each lose $2. Repair minor league stadiums. Each team must roll 2 dice and pay the bank that much money. I think I'd rather lose the $2. So I'm going to lose $2. 1, 2. That puts me down to $69. And then the number is 16. So now we got to look on the hot stove event. So at 16, 2 victory points goes to Cincinnati. And at 16, 2 victory points goes to Brooklyn. Also at 16, 1 victory point goes to Chicago. So we are now dead last for victory points. That's what the situation looks like now. And then, yeah, we're going to draw our 3 cards. I could spend media relations to draw 2 more. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Well, I'm not supposed to look at them yet. 1, 2, 3. I understand using the media relations for $5, but I'm going to actually spend both of my media relations tokens, and I'm going to draw 5 of them. So 4 and 5. Because I think if I want to grow my front office and stuff like that, these are the cards that are going to let me do it. So let's see what we get. Okay, so for this one, I can trade a regular for 2 prospects, do 2 manager roles, 3 stadium actions. I can drop farm system 1 level to gain a point, or media 2. I think this one's going to be media 2. I have no final decision yet, but that's my thoughts. A regular for 2 prospects and $1. Stadium. Oh, that one has 3 stadium actions. I might do it for that. Pay $9 to gain 1 farm system. I'm going to put that there for that. I can buy a star for $6. I think I'm going to do that. Here, pay $8 to gain 1 front office. And then here, 3 media relation tokens. So I'm going to do this one for the tokens and this one for the stadium. So that's what I think I'm going to do. So I actually think this was worth it. I spent 2 media tokens to get 3, right, on 1 card. Right? So this gave me my 2 tokens back, and I had 1 extra card to play. I think that was worth it, and I don't agree with those guys that this was not a strategic move. I thought that was a fantastic strategic move. So there's 3 media tokens for that card. This one I'm going to do 3 stadium actions. This one I'm going to pay $6 for a star. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to grab another star. So now we're at 4, and that moves us up to 12. So that means, this one's done. This one here, that's right, 3 stadium actions. This one, I'm going to pay $8 to gain 1 front office and $8 to gain 1 farm system. So $16. So 10, 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I went down 20 and gained 4. So these are all out. This one, I'll take my tokens, is out. All right, so here's where my mind is at. I just gained my front office back. I had to lose 1, so I gained no ground there, but I gained my farm system up. This means that during training camp, I'm going to get 4 cards. I just spent media tokens to do the same thing down here. So ideally, I would like a front office of 5 so I can draw 5 stove cards without having to spend any media tickets. But I like this strategy. I think that these cards are how you build your team and get more strength. And I don't know. I mean, to me, they're very powerful. I understand that the media tokens give you money, and that $5 is very helpful towards, buying the stadium upgrades. No argument there. I just feel like, though, if you want to start scoring points, the stadium upgrades, if you do get to the level 8 tiles, those are worth points. But when you're playing for 7 years, you don't have to innovate as much. Like, you don't have to, go quickly through the tiles. It does save you some money in the long run. And if I own too many stars, I'm going to have too high of a salary. So I do have to be careful. But I'm going to go ahead and do 3 stadium actions here. And I just want to put my camera down so you can see what I'm up against. So this one here will give me 1 media relation token if I were to buy that. I am tempted to do it. This one lets me start getting the extra die when I'm playing against teams. And I think we just found out firsthand that that's a really difficult situation, but it's $50. So I'm looking at my money, and I only have 47. So I would have to spend media tokens for money to be able to afford that. And that's a tough decision. And if I look at my other stuff, I mean, even this is $35, but I do get $3 or $5 a bleacher. And at 4 bleachers, that's $20 extra revenue, plus the 5 there. So I'm going to get $25 for this one. That's a really good deal for $35. Everything is expensive, by the way. The next bleacher is $25. So now if I can get 2 bleachers built, I'm going to start scoring victory points. And then that's an end game score. But this one here is I'm going to score a victory point each time. So I like all of these. And in fact, my plan is I want to upgrade this one, upgrade that one, and then at the end, put this one on, right? That gives me an end game bonus. And then I'm going to have all of those at the very end. And I think that will work very well. So, can I do it now? Because this gives me $10 and a fan. That gives me $10 and a point, and this gives me $20. So that also gives me a whole bunch of money. For the field, that's $50, but if I innovate and then innovate again, I can pay $70 and have 1 point for every 10 impact players, which is only going to give me 1 point right now, and then have 2 team quality. Like, the field thing is really good, but man, this is a hard one to upgrade. I feel like I need to get my money makers out first. So what if I did 3 red ones, right? So there's 4 red ones left, and I only have room for 3. So in some cases, I think it would actually be best to innovate one. This is $5 a bleacher. That's a point for every 3 bleachers. This is a point for every 2. And that's a point for every 1. So my thoughts is I would innovate, either this one or that one, and, build these final 2, right? This one and that one over there. Now, at $5 a bleacher, that does give me 20 points, or $20, but it's still only $5 there. So $25. My strategy with these is I'm going to get 20, 30, $40, and then the fan will get me something. So I'm going to do this. This is $60, $100, $125. And this is crazy. I may be doing a really dumb thing here. But how can I afford $125? Well, I only have 47, 57, 62. So 82, 102, 122. So I would be going 2, 4, 6, 8 victory points down to do that. That sounds insane, doesn't it? I mean, the best I can do if I start paying these back is I'm going to go down 4 victory points. 4 victory points right now is like the difference between life and death. So I don't think I can do loans, even though I want to. Like, I want to build all 3 of these blue with my 3 actions. So, what should I do? I know I want to build all 3. So what I would really like to have done is built this one. So I'm starting to score points at every scoring phase. That 1 extra point is like the $30 investment fee. The problem is that's $65. You know what? I can do 65. Let me think about this. So that's 47, 57. Oh, I'm like $3 short. I could just get rid of one of my bleachers and replace it with something else. So if I innovated, for example, this one, I'm not getting the fan every time. I do like all 3 of these, though. It's the $40 one. I can't afford it. So I'm going to spend the $25 for this one. I'm just going to put it over top. I don't know of a better system at the moment. $25 for that one. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one of my 3 actions. I can't afford the $40. And then I'm looking, can I do the $35? I should be able to. This is a $5 per bleacher, which is a lot of money. And so I would put that one here for $35. So that would be action 2. So 10, 20, 30, 5. Right? Spending all my media tokens to do that. And then I have 1 more left. And so what I'm thinking with the 1 more is I can just skip this field, flip this field to go to level 5 field, or I can flip this one to start getting the new press. I know that some of these, like this one for every 3 bleachers, I don't necessarily need that. So I can flip that one too, because I only have 2 more left here at the bottom to cover up. They're $5 each, and this is 15 and this is 20. So I would rather have these 2 and not this one. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to flip that one. So now I have the concessions, the final 2 concessions I need for here, and the final 2 bleachers that I need for somewhere here, probably these 2 spots. So I went all in on concessions and bleachers, and I sort of ignored field and press box in this particular game. So I don't know. We'll see how well that pays off for us. So where am I at on the turn orders thing here? So we did our hot stove. We played them all. Oh, the bonus card. I didn't even draw the bonus card. My apologies. We were supposed to do that at the beginning. The most upgrade tiles. So most upgrade tiles are, I think they mean there. So I have tons of upgrade tiles, but let's look at theirs. So their upgrade tiles, it's turn number +1. So that would be 3 for Chicago, 3 for Cincinnati, and 6 for Brooklyn. So Brooklyn has 6 of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And allegedly 9, I guess. I don't know how you count them. Let me look in the rule book here. So the rule book is fairly easy to get around in. So when you're it's near the end where they talk about this stuff. But where? Here we go. The season bonus. They have it somewhere. Give me a second. I'm going to pause. Okay, I couldn't find a definitive list of like what upgrade tiles means, but I did find in the stadium section of the rule book, right here at the bottom, upgrades are made during the hot stove. So upgrade tiles, which is what this says, I'm going to assume is anything I didn't innovate. So if I actually paid to do the upgrade, even if I paid twice, like I did for this bleacher here, that bleacher's been upgraded twice over there, I'm assuming that that counts as 2 upgrades. Now, I could be wrong. So that would mean that 9 upgrades is the most you can do if I'm wrong, right? Because there's only 9 square tiles here. But I think that the number of upgrade tiles is just anything. That's why I need to keep the ones that I am overbuilding. So no matter what, I won because the other guy only had 6. And I am currently at the least victory points. So I do get 3, which that is the thing that's going to save my bacon here. I was feeling very bad, but now all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, I'm right back to the front again by the skin of my chinny chin chin. And then we're going to move to spring training of next year. Okay, I think we got time to do another year. What do I think of this game so far? I'm definitely having fun. And it is a lighter game. We are able to, like, once you know what you're doing, you can sort of fly through it a little quicker. I did all that in 48 minutes, but I'm explaining and talking and whatever. I think that the game was touted to be, like, deeply strategic with a lot of options and ways to score points, and I don't feel that. That's my only thing. I do think that there's a lot of choice making here with the stadium, and you can see with my tiles and how I decided to grow them. I could have gone the media route or the field route instead of the concessions and bleachers, and maybe that would give me a different feel and another way to score points. The game sort of gave me the impression that you're either going to invest in stars or you're going to invest in prospects, and I'm doing both. Although maybe 4 stars is not that much stars as far as the game's concerned. I don't know. I'm winning by 1 point. It's definitely a tight game. And I do think that from a solitaire perspective, they did a good job. Without these bots, I would really be bored if it's just a beat your own score. I do think that this seems like it would be more fun multiplayer because, you know, you have these cards. I mean, these cards aren't super take that. I actually don't know how my gaming group would view this. I think they would at least enjoy it like a beer and pretzels kind of enjoyment. I mean, it's a really cool baseball game, board game. I do appreciate that. I wish there was a football version. Actually, we do have that stadium game, which is a football version of this. It's a little lighter. But anyways, I don't dislike this game at all. I think, and of course, I always just give my negative feelings on things. The thing that's jumping out at me is I'm not sure there's different ways to play it. You know, most games you can go up the left path or the right path, and then maybe there's 4 other paths too. Like you can mix and match, you know, 2 of the 6 paths or whatever. I don't feel that way in this one. I feel like I'm doing everything I can in all the paths. And the next time I play, I'm going to do the same thing. And then the next time I play, I'm going to do the same thing again. And it's just more of an efficiency. Like, how are my cards going to help me? Because these cards are so wildly random, right? So you are taking advantage of your cards. And I think that's this is a very tactical game. So the goal is always the same. The way I'm going to try to play is always the same. But I just may not get the cards that I'm looking for, so then I'm going to have to play my cards to the best of my ability. So I don't disagree with any of that. And I think that's why I'm enjoying it still. And I just love the idea of playing these, well, they're at least real teams. I know these aren't real pictures of players. And thematically, it's hitting it out of the park, pun intended. This does feel very thematic. I am feeling like I'm, you know, involved in managing a baseball team. I love how they made the season head-to-head resolved in simple die roll plus a card play. There's a lot of really brilliant things going on with this game. So anyways, let's just keep going. We are now in 1913. So we got to do the same deal as before. Now I am making sure I grab the right baggie here. I got these Chip Theory bags. So I got to go through the same exercise again. Now, per the rules, the smallest TQ would be eliminated if it was smaller than all the other players, but that's not the case. So TQ6 was the smallest, and that was one of the other players. So we can't use that. We needed to draw one of the smaller ones for one of the other players in order for it to get eliminated. Okay, so here we go. So 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 4 lowest. 20, 19, 18, 17. These are the 4 highest. And then if I get rid of 9 and 10 and 15 and 16, these are the 4 medium ones. These go, excuse me, back in the bag. 1, 2, 3. This is the lowest, so that goes to Cincinnati. TQ8. These are the highest. 1, 2, 3, 4. TQ19 goes to Chicago. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. TQ13 goes to Brooklyn. Then, once again, everything goes in the bag. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So all that really means is that none of the tiles were eliminated last season. St. Louis gets a 16. Philadelphia gets a TQ5. So now we're going to have one eliminated because that's the lowest. TQ15, New York, or 18, I'm sorry. 17 on Boston. So they're still plenty tough. Okay, so that's the number of wins they're going to get, and then we're going to look at Cincinnati's going to have 85 wins, which is more than we got last season. Chicago is going to have 99, and Brooklyn is going to have 93, which is exactly the same as last time. Okay, so that's it for that. And then we're going to draw based on our farm. So we have a farm of 4. So now we take spring training, and we actually get 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I have no media tokens, so I'm not going to be able to draw anything in there. And so here we go. Again, no upgrade available at the top for all of these. I feel like did I shuffle these? Is there an upgrade ever? Yeah, there is. It's just not very often. I'm going through the deck here. There's just not a lot of them. Yeah, it's a rare one to get an upgrade. So I guess it's just, when you get those, you got to use them. So no upgrades on any of the 4 cards. I can change a prospect into a regular. And another one. And another one. A star and 2 prospects in a regular. A regular and $2 into a star. A regular and $1 into a star. And just understand I have literally $2 to my name. And pay $3 to get 4 prospects. $1 to get 1. $4 for 4. $3 for 3. I have $2. There's some fan increases possible. Beyond that, so I can get rid of a star to make some money. And I don't know if I want to do that. And it doesn't say, so if I get rid of a star in this case, does it go back into the pool or is it out of the game? I think they only leave the game if you're retiring. I think they should go back in the pool, because otherwise it makes no sense. So for example, I can take a star and turn it into 2 prospects and a regular, right? And then I can take a regular and $2 and turn it into a star. And so I would come up with a net of 2 prospects. Actually, and this one's even better. A regular and $1 get you a star. And this is 3 prospects and $1 get you a star. I don't have a lot of choices, do I? So I'm going to do these 2. I'm going to do a star into 2 prospects and a regular. And then the regular and $1 is going to get me a star. So what that gets me is I spend $1 and I'm going to gain 2 prospects. Everything else stays the same. And then over here, see, the hot stove is better than spring training. There's a lot better upgrades in the hot stove. Over here, I think I'm just going to add a fan. And there I can turn a prospect into a regular, or I could do 2 prospects into a regular, because I do have 2 prospects I can give up and not lose any points. Now, getting 2 regulars is not enough to move me up in quality, but I'll be 1 away. And maybe that's what I want to do. I think I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to take the 1 fan and turn a prospect into a regular. So this prospect will go down and we'll go up 1 on the regular. That's what I mean. So if I get to 12 regulars, then I gain another team quality. And then we're going to gain a fan. And I'm getting dangerously close. Like once I'm up in this top row, see the little down arrow? I'm going to lose 1. I'm going to lose 2 if I'm ever in the down arrow range. So the number of fans is going to go down by 2 if I'm ever up there. And I am actually going to go up there right now because I have my bleachers here. It says spring training, add 1 fan, and I got 2 of those. So I'm going to go up at least 2 fans for now, but it'll go back down 2. But that's fine. We get to make our money before it goes down. So we're up to 12 fans, and that is going to get us some money. So that is good. All right, we are done with spring training. I don't think our quality has changed for our teams. And then we move into regular season. And we get to draw 7 cards. And again, I don't have any media tokens because I spent them all. So I am a little bit, I'm not going to have as much advantage as I did last time. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Last time this got us some money though. So let's see what we can get here. Let's take a quick look, do the sorting like we did before. So this is going to add us 2 TQ, so going to help us with a competition. I'll take that. Gain 1 media per front office level. We have level 3. I like that. That's going to be more of just a gain thing. Roll 2 dice and add your farm system value, which is a 4. And you're going to gain something from the supply, not the pool, if you get a 12. Very nice. I'll add that over to this side. Here's a gain money. Here's another gain money. If you have any stars on your team, add 1 extra TQ per star for this series only. That's a good one. Really good one. I like that. And more money. So we got 3 money-making opportunities. Look, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to try to minimize how often I'm not going to try to look at the player cards to see which one of these gives them 2 victory points so I can prioritize when to play. Like, hey, I need to play these cards when I'm not facing an opponent. I'm going to try to minimize that. If I am to a point where I'm choosing between 2 cards, I will do that kind of check. First of all, it's not fun looking it up. That's probably the most annoying part of this game. The other part of it is, I don't know. That's why they said when you want to increase the difficulty, when you play your card, you can intentionally make sure that they get a card that gives them 0 victory points, right? So that's how you're controlling the game. Well, then you're going to draw from the top and just live with whatever you draw. So, I'm going to live with card number 2 there, and they're going to get whatever victory points that gives them. That's what the increased difficulty does. So then you're not in control anymore. Whatever card is at the top of the deck, that's what they're going to get. And so I think that is interesting and good. I mean, they did a good job there of, like, if I do end up creaming these guys, that is going to be a great equalizer. Because you can really micromanage these card numbers and figure out, okay, I'm playing against 3 rivals, so these are the 3 cards I'm going to play against those rivals. So it does work. Okay, let's do one final shuffle. All these cards are warped. I don't understand what happened. I mean, it is winter here, and I do have a furnace running and things like that, but man, oh man. Okay. First up, we are playing Brooklyn, which is one of our rivals. They have a TQ13. We're at TQ12, so we're doing a lot better. I do want to play one of these. And so we have 21 and 37. And I'm going to play this one, 21. And so let's look at what Brooklyn gets for that. For 21, they get 0 points. So what this is going to do is we have more than 7 regulars, so we're going to get 2 extra TQ and roll an extra resolution die. So that's our bonus. So that puts us at 14 to their 13. And then that's 15 to their. So I got a net of 1. So we're at 2. We're ahead by 2. So that gives us 12 wins. And more importantly, they don't get any points. Okay. St. Louis. That's one of the non-teams. I'm going to gain $3 for each front office level. And the front office is at level 3. So I'm going to get $9. I'm at 1. So that puts me to $10. Cincinnati. All right, I don't want to do one of those. I do have a lot of cards to choose from. Card number 6 gives them 0 points, so I'm going to choose this one. We're going to roll 2 dice and add your farm system value. I'm just going to roll these 2. And that's a horrible number. That's a 4, but my farm is a 4, so we got an 8. So we gain 1 regular. And that puts us to 11. That actually would have given us a team quality if I would have gotten the 2 regulars when I was making those decisions earlier. And now we're going to compete. So they have a TQ of 8. I have a 12. I'm plus 4. And they get plus 3, so I'm still plus 1 though, which means I get 12 wins. And 1, 2, and 10. Next up, playing Philadelphia. They have a TQ of 5, super low. I'm going to gain 1 media per front office level. My front office level is 3, so 3 media tokens is fantastic. Very happy about that. And then they have a TQ of 5. I'm at 12. I'm at plus 7. And then I go up 2 more, so I'm at plus 9. That's 16 wins. So there's 5 and 10. We're doing much better than last season. Let's keep it going. Pittsburgh and Chicago. They have a TQ of 19. Yeah, there's 3 tough teams in here. So I'm going to do this one, which is 37. Let me check Chicago here. 37 is 1 victory point for them. So they go up 1. All right, this gives me 1 extra TQ per star. I have 4 of them. So they have a TQ of 19, and I have 12 plus 4. I have a 16. And I get to roll an extra die. And so they're going to get an extra victory point because they beat me for the series. They have a plus 3, and we're going to get 9 wins out of that. So it puts us to 49. That was really, really tough. Two more games, and I got to go all the way around the board. Pittsburgh against New York, who has a TQ of 18. I'm going to gain $5 per bleacher tile. I have 4 of those, so I'm going to get $20. 10, 20. And I'm going to get destroyed. New York has an 18. I have a 12. I'm minus 6. Minus 5. So that gives me 8 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm going to do worse than I did last season. How did that happen? I thought I was doing great. All right, this is the last game. Pittsburgh against Boston. They have a 17. Gain $3 for each front office level. I have 3, so I'm going to get $9. That puts me to 39. And 17 to 12, they're at a plus 5. And it's plus 5, so that gives me 8 more wins. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I did horrible. I landed at 65. That was worse than last season. I thought I was doing great for a while there. I don't understand. What happened? I was getting 13 wins. I was getting 12 wins. I guess it's different than getting 15 and 16 wins. But so, yeah, I didn't do that great. Okay, so we skip postseason again. And then we do finances. So once again, $80 in base income. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means that goes to 100. So we're at $110 right now, which I thought was a lot of money, but we spend it quick. $3 for every fan. So we are at 12 fans. So 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So $155. I could spend media to the pool, but I'm not. And then the stadium rewards. So this is where it's going to get interesting now. So we get 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 45, not counting the special tax. So $45 for that. 10, 20, 30, 40. And then the 5 is going to put us exactly at 200. So we got more money than last time. And then here, $3 per bleacher and $5 per bleacher. So $8 per bleacher, and we have 4. So 32. Okay. So then we have to do our expenses. So the number of star player salaries, I have 4 stars now. That's $50. That's huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts us down to 180 really fast. Those stars are expensive. $2 for every regular. We are now at 11. So 10, 20, 1, 2. $1 for every prospect. We're at 17. So 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then for our farm, so we're at 16, 26, and 7 is 33. 10, 20, 30. 1, 2, 3. That leaves me with $110, which is respectable. I mean, we were at 80 last time, 90-ish. We're barely going up. But see, we keep adding more players, more stars, and that keeps gobbling up all the extra income I'm getting. But I think it works. So then for this, the victory points, I am only at 65 victory points, which gives me a whopping 2 victory points to the track. So 1, 2, that's all I get. And then red is at 85, which gives him 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then green is at 93. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And black is at 99. Holy buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's horribly. Oh, I forgot to my season bonus. I keep forgetting to draw this. Single highest bleacher level. My single highest bleacher level was 6. So we're in good shape on that one. I'm still not going to invest. I just don't feel like I have the throwaway money yet. I'm not winning games either. That's the other weird thing. Okay, then we have to adjust the fans. So I am in the section where we have to move the marker 2 lower. So 1, 2, like that. But I'm last in victory points, so I move 1 higher. And that is true. So I went down 2 and up 1, so I guess I'll take that. Okay, where do we do the resolve the bonus card? That's all the way at the end. So I don't have to do anything yet. So it actually lets you could do like upgrades to your stadium before to maybe pull out the win. So we are allowed to look at their cards. So for example, Cincinnati here, this is the highest bleachers. So if you look at the bleachers right here, turn number +2. So that's a 5 for them. That's a 4 for Chicago. Excuse me, and that's a 6 for him. That's a tie with me for 6. Do I win ties? I can't remember. I know I win a tie for season wins. I just don't know if I win for the ties for stuff like this. I'm checking real quick. Okay, so if in multiplayer, if 2 people tie, they both get the bonus. And they could score a different level of points, because you know how it rewards points on whether you're first or last in the turn or in the VP. So let's look at this here. Bonus per season section. If you max out the category, you earn it automatically. Yeah, it doesn't add anything extra. So if you tie, you get it. Based on the rules, at least. Okay, so we did that, and now we got to do the retirement part, which is always painful. Here we go. I like the card, let me just ignore it. So here's number 1. And then here's number 2. So that one is retire 2 prospects. This one, well, hold on. We should have scored victory points. I didn't score this yet. Yeah, I get 3 victory points from this. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that comes after the. Well, let me think. See, the adjust fans comes after. So I wasn't last in the fans and victory points anymore, because you can see I'm tied for second. So my fans drops back down to 10, because the fans happens after the victory points. I was supposed to score 3 victory points for the prospects. That's what I missed. I got to the investment and said I'm not going to do it, and then I moved on, and there's a prospect section. So we got that corrected now. Okay, so we drew our 2 retirements, and I got really lucky here. I got a retirement of none. So in a multiplayer game, you're going to draw, let's say you have 8 players playing, you're going to draw 9 of these, and there's a real good chance that one of them is going to say this. So whoever's in last place is going to take those tokens, right? And then these ones are going to be left for the people winning the game. I do think that would be wicked fun, but just doesn't work that way with this. I would have liked to had a solo mode which was maybe a little more involved, where I could control 8 people like that and actually have 8 players playing against me where I get to do stuff like that. But I think that would be really hard, and with how big these player boards are, that would be a huge table hog for a solo control. I mean, I did do 18OE solo twice, so I guess I could do this, but okay, so that's done, and now we're going to do the hot stove. I'm beginning to like the hot stove cards. The spring training cards I'm not as excited about. I'm drawing these for the events, so I don't have to make my decision yet. And so this is community advocate. Each team be paid to gain a point. Front office of 1 or 2. So I have a 3 or 4. I could spend $10 to get a point. And I do have $10. Or all players roll a 2d6 plus the farm level. And the highest rolls gain a regular, lowest rolls lose 1. Ties for either of these rolls affect all tied players equally. If all are tied, ignore the event. So I think I would be rolling myself versus the other players. And they just don't get anything. I'm just rolling against them. Highest roll gains a regular, lowest roll loses, and everybody else gets nothing. And that's just to gain a regular. I get to add my farm system. They don't have a farm system, so I don't even know how to resolve that. If I'm playing this solo, how do you resolve that? That's I think I'm forced to choose the other one just because I don't think I can choose that one because I don't know how to resolve it. It does say that for 59, well, Chicago gets 2 points for using 59. Brooklyn gets 1 point. Holy buckets. I don't know. I don't know what I can do with 59. But 39, though. Yeah, 2 points for Cincy. 1 point. They're getting points no matter what. I'm going to check the event section again. It says hot stove cards 56 and 57 do not affect you. Yeah, that's not. So it says no need to roll dice. They affect your rival as above. Yeah, there's no guidance on. Or do I just get a +4 bonus against the other two? What do I get? I mean, I don't really want to spend $10. That's, I think, part of my issue. I have $110 right now, but I don't know if I want to spend it on this. And it just gives me a point. I'll go ahead and do this. So I'm going to roll for them. So here's 1. I'm just going to keep the highest number, right? That's a 5. That's a 6. That's a 4. I couldn't have rolled any better. And then I'm going to roll for myself. And I rolled a 6, and then I get my farm system. So I tied the highest even without my farm system. And so, yeah, I get a regular. So I'm now up to 12, which puts my team quality to 13. So I chose card 59. And that means that for Cincinnati, they get 0 points. Chicago gets 2 points. And the rich get richer. And then Brooklyn gets 1 point. I was being violent there. Okay. So this one uses my front office. I'm going to get 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. I like the idea of spending 2 media tokens, and I'm going to draw 2 more cards, and I'm just going to use one of those 2 to get my 2 media tokens back. So basically, I get to play a 4th card for free, is my logic. So I'm going to do that strategy. And designers, I don't really like the fact that you're recommending that this isn't a strategic move. I think it's a very strategic move. In fact, I like this more than using those for $5 each. So with that said, I'm looking real quick for, here's a media 3. That gives me more tokens back. Let me just see if there's anything else in here. A star for a prospect and $4. Yeah, look at that. 3 media right there. Boom, I'm going to put that off to the side. And then there's a media 2, media 2. Here's another media 3. I can pay $8 to gain 1 front office. Then I don't have to pay as much media. I'm going to do that one. Pay $8 to gain 1 front office. Then I'm going to be at 5. I do want some stadium actions. So this one gives me 3 stadium actions. I'll go ahead and take that one. And this one gives me 3 more stadium actions. I don't think I have enough money to do 3 more. So here's what I'm going to do. I might use it to gain 2 more media tokens. So I'm going to set this off to the corner, and we're going to make a game time decision once I do everything else. But this one here, I'm going to gain 3 media tokens. I spent 2, and for spending 2, I gained a net of +1. That to me is awesome. And I will play this, and I might even get 2 more, but depending on what I do with this card. So these 2, I am going to spend $16 to upgrade my front office twice. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm at $94. Okay, and my front office goes up twice. So that means next time I'm going to draw 2. I'm going to draw all 5 media or hot stove cards, and I don't have to spend any media tokens anymore. Now you're cooking when you do that. So I like it. And remember, this is 2 media tokens, which is basically $10. So if I'm doing these stadium actions and I don't know what to do, I can possibly do that. Now, if I want to do better with my competition, I do think I need to get that field upgraded, which is $50. That's a tall order. Because I also want to upgrade everything else, which is also very expensive. The field upgrade does not get me... I mean, it gives me the ability to roll 2 white dice, and I get to always choose the better of the 2, which that alone is going to help me with my wins. It's going to help me. I mean, I know it's possible to roll 2 1s, but it's going to be rare, and I am going to always be able to bump myself just a little bit better. The thing though is that's $50 to do, and that doesn't help me with my income at all. here. Let me get the camera situated. Okay, I had to take that phone call. I think we were talking about what 3 things we were going to buy here. I am sitting on $94, and I do have some media tokens, and these things are getting super expensive. So, for example, this will improve my income by $10, but I would start scoring points for every 2 bleachers, which I think I need to start getting points in. I got to get a point engine going, or otherwise I'm screwed. The points that I'm getting from my prospects is helping me to keep up, but I'm not gonna. So if I do this route, I'm trying to earn points by winning games, and I'm sort of trying to win, but I'm currently not. And so since I went heavy on the bleachers and concessions, I feel like I need to finish this strong. And I'm looking here, like this bleacher is only getting me $5. This one will just straight up give me a point and $10. So it doubles my money and gives me a point, right? This one will give me $20, but it only gives me endgame points. Right now, this was $10, right? So I'll double my money, but that means I don't need to build this right away unless I want to double that money income, but that's not that important. But this is $40. This one here is going to get me some points. And the big thing, though, is if I replace this one here, I'm going to jump up $10, right? So I'm going to triple my income, and I'm going to get some points for bleachers. So that's $50, and this is $40, right? That's $90. Well, that's all my money right there. Gone. So then what I can do is I can come over here and I can invest or innovate or whatever, right? So I don't want this one. This one gives me 2 quality, right? So I can flip that over and innovate. So I got a level 5 field instead of a level 4 available. Or I could have innovated one of these. I can't afford to pay for any other buildings. I am increasing my income, and now I'm going to get some points from here on out. We are in year 3, so there's still 4 years left. So I'm going to have 4 years of point scoring. I'm pretty happy with that. This one is going to be 1 for every 2 bleachers. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 bleachers, so that's 2 points. And that's a 3rd point. So I'm going to get 3 points every time we do this. I think that's a good deal, and that was worth the money spent now. The earlier you do it, the more value that brings. So I believe that I'm committed to this strategy. Like, to back out of that now and to start building like a field, I think is the wrong move. So what I did, though, is since I had another action and I have no money left, I flipped the token. So if I do buy a field, it's going to be a much better one than that. And you only have 1 spot for a field, so there's no reason to build every level, right, along the way. Okay, so that was this one here, which is 3 stadium actions. And then the last one could be 3 more stadium actions. And at this point, I would be just flipping things 3 times. Although, I do have enough media tokens and money left that I could build this one, which gets me a 1 media token income. Let me make sure I have enough money. I don't. Oh my gosh. I have 5, 10, oh no, right there. I have $20 in media tokens. So I could have built this instead of flipping that field. Now here's the problem, is it gives me no money. It just gives me, well, it gives me $5. That's like $5 in income. And I would be able to basically gain 1 media token every time for $20. So it would take me 4 years just to break even. That's why I don't like that option. I think that I got to innovate that press box and get rid of a bunch of that crap. So I'm going to stick with what I did. And then for this last one, I wanted to maybe do 3 more stadium actions if I somehow had money, which I don't. So then I think I'm just going to grab 2 more media tokens. Looking at my other, like I could try to do the manager rules, but a manager of 4 is pretty good. And then I can buy a star for $6. That's something maybe. Yeah, actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a star for $6. That's the best move here. I could have done the media, but I'm going to spend 1 media for $5 and go down $1, and then we're going to get another star. So now we have 5 stars, and it puts us up to 14 team quality. Very happy with that. Okay, so that brings the end of the hot stove. And then we determine the winner of the bonus card, which I believe I am resoundingly the winner. Highest bleacher level, which we established is a 7 now, actually. So they had a 6, so I'm beating it. I am in the middle for victory points. I am not winning, and I am not losing. So I scored 2 victory points for that. So let me not forget to do that. So 1-2, I'm right now in the middle of the pack, with Chicago clearly winning and Cincy clearly losing. It's an interesting game. I don't know how this is going to turn out. And then I know I wasn't doing a good job of keeping this going, but we're on 1914. We got 4 years left. We just finished 3. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.